Good morning, this is Kirk Campbell, and this is going to be my presentation on human resources practices and policies based on the Google case study. Alright, so we'll be looking at the expectation of Google office staff and other companies like that based on 4 basic human resources practices that can be mutually beneficial to both the employee and the company. So those will be career planning and development, the talent review and succession planning, employee insight and work-life alignment, and recognition and reward systems. So we will look in depth and identify the ways in which these practices can not only benefit the employee but help to build the organization, increase its productivity, and decrease expenditures. Alright, so we'll start off with career planning and development. And generally, career planning is seen as a function for the employee, taking control over one's destiny and path where your professional life is concerned. HR can also aid in this, and it becomes mutually beneficial to both the company and the employee, because if HR keeps abreast of what the interests of the employees are and how that may tie in with the company's overall objectives and goals, you can help to develop staff members so you can actually transition internal staff into relevant or upcoming positions as they may come available. So recruitment exercises can be expensive and unnecessary if you already have the talent and experience the company requires within the organization. Tracking the development and achievement of staff's work and learning goals, then making an effort to align organizational goals with the employees' development, circumstances, and interests where available. So in order to do this, you would need to think through your job/career goals, focus on developing knowledge and skills for your current position and for the future job opportunities. Think about how to better utilize employee strengths, talents, experiences, and passion in your work. Write up your own career development plan. Discuss your development goals with your manager. So you realize that some of these goals are more focused towards HR, some are more focused towards the employee. So it's a joint effort in that case. So the employee indicates to the company what interest they have, and the company facilitates that by looking at their operation and seeing where exactly that can actually fall into the organizational strategy. Some appraisal forms actually have a section for that, so that if you don't have a proactive human resources team that would actually come and sit with staff members to gauge what their interests are, there is actually a portion of most appraisal forms that allow you to indicate courses of study that you might be interested in, cross-training in different departments that may be available, or managerial training or soft skills that you think might be relevant for your job. Some managers also go ahead and make that recommendation at the end of performance appraisals as well. Alright, so the next aspect is talent review and succession planning. For a high-paced, high-production, and dynamic company like Google, it is crucial to always have capable and experienced staff with an understanding of the organization. Identifying and developing potential new leaders who can replace outgoing leaders when they leave for retirement or into another opening or post makes for a smooth transition. For a succession plan to be successful, HR needs to first have the commitment and involvement of executive management, CEOs, or the board. Integrate succession planning into the recruitment, selection, and career development strategies. Conduct regular talent reviews. Align succession plan with business strategy, and develop and enforce a detailed succession plan, so to include The methods to be used to train. Mentors will be coaching the individuals who are selected as candidates to succeed another. Right. The next is employee insight and work-life alignment. So employee insight and work-life alignment is really a fairly new buzzword for employee wellness programs, which have been around for a little bit longer. These programs incorporate team building exercises, relaxation, time management, and wellness facilities into the organization. These programs focus on preventing illnesses, injury, promoting health and productivity, and lowering the total cost of healthcare. A successful employee wellness program benefits employers by developing and maintaining healthier, more productive workforce and communities. Elements of these programs may include health and risk assessments, education and training sessions, interventions, and incentive programs. So, and examples are having like a outbreak of the Zika virus and having persons from relevant health authorities come in to advise staff as to how you would treat if you find yourself having the symptoms or preventative measures you can use to avoid getting it in general. In as much as on the face of it, these wellness programs look really like they're only beneficial to the employee, there's also a major benefit factor to the employer. So the Harvard Business Review's December 2010 issue had an article entitled "What's the Hard Return on Employee Wellness Programs?" where they studied Johnson & Johnson's, and there were an alarming number of cases of high blood pressure, complications related to smoking and diabetes. And Johnson & Johnson was quoted as saying the leaders estimated that wellness programs had cumulatively saved the company approximately $250 million on healthcare costs over the past decade, and that was from 2002 2008. So the return was $2.71 for every dollar spent. Now that's a significant savings and in addition to the money saved, you're going to have a more healthy and productive workforce. So it's twofold. You're keeping money back in the coffers as well as getting more productivity out of the staff while still serving their interest. So the last would be recognition and reward systems. So this entails frequent and appropriate recognition of above average work done. This will serve to instill loyalty in those who have already frequently been recognized or encourage those that have not yet been recognized to work harder in order to receive that kind of recognition or reward. The process has to be viewed as open and fair and should include the following: the establishing the company's or the company or group's goals that the reward will support, establish the desired employee performance or behaviors that align with the company's goal, establishing key measures of performance or behavior, determining appropriate rewards, and communicating the program details to the employees. So everybody gets a fair chance of being able to work towards achieving those rewards and recognition. Thank you very much and have a good day.